Draw a little bit of a swimsuit here. Okay. One more 3-minute over here. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna try to make this small enough that I can fit some of it in. Famous last words. I'm building a few of the contours here. A lot of times for the arm, I like to start it near the armpit, just because it's like a area I can define pretty easily in terms of what's on what side. Okay, a little bit of the face. I'll even get some eyes in there, just for fun. I don't always get the eyes in. Okay, so we want to, let's get some of these forms in here. Okay. Okay, can we do it? Can we do it? All right, not bad. All right, so that does it for our 3 minutes. Let's move on to 5 minutes. All right, so you'll notice when we went through the 1-minute warm-ups into 3 minutes, I kept a gestural style, a little bit geometric, building up forms. I didn't change completely into measuring everything, right? And so for 5 minutes, I'm going to treat that the same way. I'm going for gesture, I'm going for interest, and I'm just going to tack on 2 extra minutes at the end to improve a little bit of the finer details, maybe some cast shadows, maybe some turning edge, maybe some highlights. Okay, so that's just how I approach it during a life drawing session. People are different. This is the way I do it. All right, so we've got the timer, 5 minutes. We're gonna stay loose. I'm still gonna try to keep from completely missing the proportions here. So I'm gonna try to at least get, you know, shape of her head here. Interesting. Okay, we're just showing kind of the turn of the shoulders. Okay, I'm not going to deal with that arm until later. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of a line of action through the spine. Okay, and so on this side, what I'm going to do is look at proportions of Okay, her shoulder leads over to here, but the shoulder blade is here. Okay, and so I'm going to look at, actually I'm going to need more room for the head. Okay, so her head's going to end up being bigger. Okay, so I'm looking at the relationship between the shoulder and then the hip is actually further out than the shoulder, okay? And so as I build in a few of these preliminary movements, I kind of want to make sure to kind of take that into account, okay? Okay, you notice the top of her swimsuit goes this angle, okay? I'm not going to define it exactly. I'm just showing kind of pelvis tilting that way, okay? Okay, and we're going to look this way. There's these different, muscle groups in the back, and so you also kind of want to see, they're under the skin, so they look connected, but they might follow a different path here, okay? So this is going to shoulder blade. Okay, I just did kind of a center line here. This kind of shoulder is always a little bit challenging, right? But if you think of it in the muscle group, so you got the shoulder, okay? And then I do bicep first usually, okay? Curl it around. And then we've got kind of this little bit of a shape like that, okay? I'm gonna draw this circle